All right, y'all. Welcome to the show. Today, not good. Not good is all I'm going to say. So in just a second, we're going to talk about how the next Israel-Iran war is coming. The question is not if, the question is when. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about just how cooked we are because Trump is trying to replace PBS with PragerU. Now, for those of you who know anything about PragerU, you just gasped in horror at that fact. And if you don't know about it, I'm going to remind you about it. So this is not good. We're reaching levels of cooked previously not thought possible. So we'll dive into that. I'll also give you some information. A new report came out about just how corrupt Trump is and how he made $3.4 billion off of the White House with these corrupt deals. So we'll talk about that. We're doing a deep dive, y'all. Pedocon theory. Why is it so inarguably correct? Why is it so accurate? We'll also get to corporations have somehow hit a new low, and wait until you see the new thing that they're trying to get away with. And also later on, we have MAGA pundit Benny Johnson says the quiet part loud and admits what he really wants to do is ethnically cleanse Washington, D.C. I wish I was kidding. I am not. I'm not kidding at all. Okay, so we have all that and more. You guys know the drill. Everybody, please subscribe to the channel. That helps out massively and costs you nothing at all. Thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. We couldn't do it without you. This is real independent media. I've never talked to an advertiser. I've never done an ad read. So you guys support the show from the ground up. $2 a month, $5 a month, whatever it may be. If you'd like to, you could tip with that thanks button on YouTube if you're so inclined. You could also sign up for Substack for Crystal Kyle and Friends. That link is below as well. And go subscribe to Corin's World, the YouTube channel. We do live Kyle and Corin episodes there. We try to do them every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss it. We take super chats. We shoot the shit. Kyle and Corin live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Go subscribe to the Corin's World YouTube channel. As I said, you don't want to miss that. We're trying to get my boy to 100,000 subs, y'all. And I don't know what he's at now. Maybe, I don't know, 17, 16, something like that. We got a ways to go. So hook a brother up with a sub. I know he'd appreciate that deeply. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this, y'all. So the New York Times came out with an article the other day, and they say the following. Iranian officials suspect sabotage in string of mysterious fires. For weeks, fires and explosions have been reported almost daily in Iran. Officials are investigating what they think is a coordinated campaign. So let's cut to the chase here. Let's not beat around the bush. It's Israel. This is Israel. This is Mossad. These are repeated terror attacks. And what they're doing is the obvious. They don't view the attack that was launched by the U.S. and Israel recently, they don't view that war as over yet. They view it as ongoing. And right now we're in a lull, but we'll move on to the next phase very quickly, which leads to my next point, which is, so here we learn that Iran is consistently under attack, terror attacks, sabotage being done. So in other words, Israel and Mossad has infiltrated the Iranian government and the country, and they're doing stuff like this. But then we have this from Foreign Policy Magazine. The next Israel-Iran war is coming. Both countries' strategic calculus suggests it will be even more violent. So this is from Trita Parsi, who's the executive vice president of the Quincy Institute, which is a foreign policy think tank, and they actually do good work. They're one of the few, anti-war think tanks that's out there in Washington, D.C. So it's the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft, I should say. So, all right, here's what he says. Ready? Israel is likely to launch another war with Iran before December, perhaps even as early as late August. Hey, dog, that's like a week or two away, homie. That's shit. We're almost there. Iran is expecting and preparing for the attack. It played the long game in the first war, pacing its missile attacks as it anticipated a protracted conflict. In the next round, however, Iran is likely to strike decisively from the outset, aiming to dispel any notion that it can be subdued under Israeli military dominance. As a result, the coming war will likely be far bloodier than the first. If U.S. President Donald Trump caves to Israeli pressure again and joins the fight, the United States could face a full-blown war with Iran that will make Iraq look easy by comparison. Stop and think about that. We wasted trillions of dollars in Iraq, killed hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians, and thousands of our own people got killed. Israel's June war was never solely about Iran's nuclear program. Rather, It was about shifting the balance of power in the Middle East, with Iranian nuclear capabilities being an important but not decisive factor. For more than 2 decades, Israel has pushed the United States to take military action against Iran to weaken it and restore a favorable regional balance, one that Israel cannot achieve on its own. In this context, Israel's strikes had 3 main objectives beyond weakening Iran's nuclear infrastructure. It sought to draw the U.S. into direct military conflict with Iran, to decapitate the Iranian regime, and to turn the country into the next Syria or Lebanon, countries that Israel can bomb with impunity and without any U.S. involvement. Only one of the 3 goals was realized. What's more, Trump did not obliterate Iran's nuclear program, nor has it been set back to a point where the issue can be considered resolved. In other words, with its June attacks, Israel achieved a partial victory at best. Its preferred outcome was for Trump to fully engage, targeting both Iran's conventional forces and economic infrastructure. But while Trump favors swift, decisive military action, he fears full-scale war. His strategy in attacking Iran's nuclear facilities was thus designed to limit escalation rather than expand it. In the short term, Trump succeeded, much to Israel's chagrin, but in the long run, he has allowed Israel to trap him in an escalatory cycle. In other words, this ain't over, dog. The fact that it looks like there's sabotage going on and Israel is doing consistent terror attacks against Iran. The fact that, I don't know if you guys saw this, they just released a video the other day, and it was weird. It was in English. It wasn't in Farsi, right? And the video was targeted at the Iranian people, and they were explaining to them, oh, we set up this website to show you guys how to grow crops when there's a drought. We figure that out here in Israel. We want to give you guys the information. So here you go. We put up a website, and the website is in your language, and this is a way for you to go around the government, which is oppressing you and treating you badly, but we want to liberate you. We're on your side, so we're giving you all this. There's a reason why they're doing this. They're laying the propaganda groundwork for the next phase. Look, we knew at the time, I told you at the time, this ain't fucking over yet. No, Trump may have been, shooting from the hip. All right, let's do it. And then, all right, I'm calling the end of it, right? That's how he functions. But the Israelis have had the wheels in motion for this thing for a long time. And the fact of the matter is, now Netanyahu's on the record saying, we want a greater Israel. He says, I'm in a spiritual battle to create a greater Israel. So that means they're taking over all of Gaza and reoccupying it, taking over the entire West Bank. They're taking over large swaths of Syria. Eventually, they want parts of Egypt. They want Jordan. They want all these different areas to create the greater Israel. And what stands in the way of a greater Israel? What regional power can rival that of Israel? There's only one, Iran. And that's why they are hell-bent on regime change. They will stop at nothing for regime change. And Seymour Hersh reported, remember this, early on with the bombing campaign against Iran, that regime change was greenlit by the Trump regime. And so they may have looked like they backed away from the edge, but as I just pointed out, Israel is engaged in sabotage right now, doing terror attacks regularly against Iran. And here you have an expert on the issue saying this thing is not over and another attack is coming before December or earlier. Another attack is coming, and you can bank on that, bro. That's happening. So here we go. So what Trump got started in motion is now not something that he's going to be able to back out of. And this is only going to get worse. If you think it was bad last time, it's only going to get worse this time. Because now you have a totally emboldened psychopathic terrorist regime. That's what the Israelis are. Which is why they regularly bomb Lebanon, regularly bomb Yemen, regularly bomb Damascus. They bombed the palace in Damascus where, the president stays. And they sent the signal of like, no, we're going to fuck you up too. We're going to take your territory too. They did steal large swaths of Syria, and the Syrian president was fine with it. And then they said, no, we're going to do more than that. And they're using this issue of minority communities in Syria being attacked by the government. They're using that to try to pretend, we're going to protect those minority communities, as if Israel gives a fuck about protecting any minority communities. No, they want the territory. They want the land. And so this is a rogue regime, a rogue fascist regime that has been emboldened every step of the way by the United States. We give them more money. We give them more weapons. We sit back and we casually watch as they starve kids to death and bomb innocent people and kill at least 100 a day in Gaza. And so now they feel they're high on their own supply and they feel like we can get away with anything. And so this Israel-Iran war is just beginning. It's just beginning. And The next round, as Tree to Parsi points out here, is not going to be like the first. It's going to be a hell of a lot more bloody. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.